The Phoenix Suns are hypothetically 4 games away from winning an NBA Finals. Now, of course, I could have started this video by saying the Milwaukee Bucks are 4 games away, but me being a Suns fan, actually more of a Chris Paul fan, it was destined for me to make this video on the Suns' perspective to their path to the finals. But before we get into the video today, I'd like to bring something up. Only a very small percent of the people who actually watch these videos are subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, make sure to drop a like and leave a sub. And now that we've got that out of the way, I'd like to talk about the main narrative I've seen this postseason, and that is that the Suns have had the easiest route ever to make it to the finals. And as much as I'd like to sit up here and deny that statement, it's physically impossible for me not to agree with it. Well, kind of. I don't believe that we've had the easiest run to the finals, but it's definitely up there. In the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, we've played teams riddled with injuries. In the first round against the Lakers, in the second half of the series, they flat out just didn't have Anthony Davis. And he was their best player in that series up until the point of his injury. And then in the second round, we got to play a Nuggets team without their star point guard Jamal Murray. And then the most notable injury was Kawhi Leonard in the third round. And don't get me wrong, I'm fully confident that the Suns can beat a fully healthy Lakers team and a fully healthy Nuggets team. But when it comes to the Clippers, I just don't think they have any shot if Kawhi would have played. But the thing that I don't agree with this narrative is people are almost blaming the Suns for how easy they've had it. Phoenix didn't choose who they played who was in front of them, and they did it excellent. And now to move on from that narrative, I'd like to take a look at the first 3 rounds of the Suns playoff run. In the first round, they had to play the defending champion Lakers team. And the main reasons why I think we were able to walk away from this series in 6 was because of Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Together, they averaged 45 points and 16 rebounds per game and shot the ball tremendously, as Booker shot 48% from the field and 42% from the three-point line, and Ayton nearly shot 80% from the field. Now, I don't want to give these two all the credit for this series because guys like Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and Cameron Payne really showed up. After this series closed, I feel like fans really considered this squad a championship caliber team. And now I'd like to move on to the Nuggets series. If I had to wrap this series up in a couple words, I'd say it was the Chris Paul show. The man averaged 25.5 points per game while dishing out 10 assists and grabbing 5 rebounds while also getting multiple steals a game. And what made this really impressive was coming back from his shoulder injury, he shot 62% from the field and 75% from the three-point line. And on top of that, he didn't miss a single free throw all series and nearly shot 5.5 attempts per game. That basically wraps up why people call him the point god. And as we all know, the day after the Suns reached the conference finals, the news came out about Chris Paul catching COVID. And as a Suns fan, this made me nervous on how they'd perform without him, but surprisingly, they did not disappoint. And that point leads me on to talk about the Clippers series, where Cam Payne was asked to start the first 2 games. And in those 2 games, he did not disappoint and helped the Suns get up 2-0 against the Clippers. And we even got to see a DeAndre Ayton game-winning.
Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! Ayton puts it down! He puts it down!
Dunk. And as we know, we skipped forward a little bit of time, and this series was 3-2, and the Suns were asked to go back into Staples Center for another Game 6. And that's where we got to see Chris Paul drop a 41-point masterpiece against his old team in the Clippers. And now to skip forward, the matchup is now set for the Suns to play Milwaukee on Tuesday night. And with Giannis's health in jeopardy, I really can't determine how the series is going to go. But despite Giannis's injury, even if he plays, I think the series was going to come down to a coaching matchup. And in that case, I'll trust Monty Williams any day to make the right adjustments to close out this series. I think between our guard play and DeAndre Ayton, I have the Suns closing this series out in 6. But on top of that, we're also going to need guys like Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, and Torrey Craig to be able to hit their 3-point shots. And I just hope we can see Chris Paul get a Finals MVP before he wraps up his career. And I think the perfect time for that would be now. The story with this Suns team is just flat out amazing. To not even make the playoffs last year and then to go get guys like Jay Crowder and Chris Paul and immediately turn into a championship team, I just think is amazing of the growth that they've shown this season. And what better way to close out that story than to hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy. But enough of what I think. Let me know in the comments who you guys are taking in this series and how many games it will end up going. And once again, if you enjoyed this video and want to see content just like it, make sure to drop a like and leave a sub. And also, let me know if you guys have any video recommendations that you want me to do in the future. And I believe that's all I have to say for the video today. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the